Hey Vikings family, what's going on? Skol Nation, it's your boy here, absolutely pumped even though the season just ended. Because listen, we just rattled off 5 straight wins to close out 2025 with a bang, finishing 9-8 and leaving everybody talking about what this team is truly capable of. No playoffs this year, but man, that late surge felt like the purple pride we all bleed for. Today we're diving deep into the Minnesota Vikings news, that epic ending streak, and all the massive questions heading into the offseason. You ready? Let's go. We smacked the Packers 16-3 in the finale at US Bank Stadium, bookending a whole decade there with border battle wins. Remember the very first game in that building was against Green Bay too? Pure poetry. We held them to basically nothing while our defense was flying around like madmen. And get this, only the second time in franchise history we've ended the regular season with 5 or more straight victories. The other being that legendary 1998 squad that won 8 in a row on the way to 15-1. Feels good to be in that kind of company, right? But let's keep it real, this 5-game heater is rare air. Since 2020, only a handful of teams have pulled it off, and this year we were one of just 4. Us, the Seahawks with 7, Jaguars with 8, and Texans with 9 monster wins to close. That puts the Minnesota Vikings in elite company and proves Kevin O'Connell has this team playing possessed football when it matters most. You feeling that momentum carrying into 2026 or what? Yo, raise your horns if you're proud. We missed the playoffs for the second time in 3 years. Yeah, but finishing above .500 after everything we went through? That's heart. That's Vikings grit. We started hot, hit some brutal stretches with injuries everywhere, especially at quarterback, but closed stronger than almost anybody in the league. Tell me in the comments, does this ending give you way more hope for next year than an early playoff exit would have? Now let's talk about that man. KOC Kevin O'Connell just tied Mike Martz for the second longest streak of having a 5+ win streak in each of his first 4 seasons as head coach. And right now, it's the longest active streak in the entire NFL. 4 years in a row ending hot like this. That's not luck, that's culture. That's a coach who knows how to get the absolute most out of his guys no matter what gets thrown at us. The power rankings reflected that fire too. NFL.com kept us at number 16. Yahoo Sports actually bumped us up 1 spot to 15. They all said the same thing. 5 straight wins is impressive, but it also stings because if our quarterback play was just average all season, we probably make noise in January. Frank Schwab straight up called it a reminder of what could have been. Brutal honesty, but he's not wrong. Speaking of the quarterback, J.J. McCarthy started the finale. Looked sharp early against a Packers team resting everybody. Then boom, aggravates that throwing hand injury in the 3rd quarter and has to pull himself out. Man, my heart hurts for the kid. He's only played 10 games in his whole career, goes 6-4 as a starter. But the injury bug just won't leave him alone. Meniscus last year, ankle sprain, concussion, now the hand again. Look, the stats aren't pretty right now, near the bottom in EPA per dropback. But we've seen flashes, especially these last few weeks before the injury hit again. The big question everyone is asking, can we fully trust JJ as the guy moving forward? Or do we need to bring in real competition, maybe even a veteran bridge? Drop your take below. Is McCarthy our franchise QB in 2026, or do we make a move? And don't sleep on the defense. Brian Flores might have just coached his last game with us if he gets a head coaching job, and his contract is up. 7 HC vacancies right now, rumors are flying. If Flo leaves, that's a gut punch. But if he stays, with another offseason to add pieces, that unit could be terrifying. What do you think? Extend Flores yesterday or let him chase his dream? That late surge moved the needle in the final power rankings and has analysts saying the Minnesota Vikings could absolutely contend in 2026, even with the QB questions. Eric Edholm said how we handle the offseason will be fascinating. Draft, free agency, maybe a trade? The possibilities are endless, and I'm already counting the days until OTAs. History check real quick. Ending with 5+ wins doesn't happen often when you miss playoffs. Since 2020, teams like the 2022 Jaguars did it at 9-8, 2024 Bengals and Commanders too. We're in that club now, and most of those teams took big steps the next year. Feels like we're setting up for something special, doesn't it? Can we just talk about how poetic that finale was? Beating the Packers to close the season, just like we opened US Bank Stadium against them 10 years ago. CJ Ham scoring what might be his last touchdown as a Viking. Harrison Smith may be playing his final snap in purple. Emotional stuff, man. Those legends deserved that send-off if it's the end. The SB Nation React survey is live right now. They're asking if you think the team is heading in the right direction, if JJ starts week 1 next year, and if Flores comes back. Go vote and let your voice be heard, because this fan base is the best in the NFL and they need to hear from Skol Nation loud and clear. All right, Vikings faithful, we're heading into another long offseason full of hope, questions, and that burning purple fire. This 5-game streak proved who we are when we lock in. Now let's carry that into 2026 and go get that trophy. What was your favorite moment from the ending run? Who do we bring in at QB? Comment everything below. If you're as fired up as I am about the Minnesota Vikings future, smash that like button, drop your thoughts, subscribe for daily Vikings news and updates all off-season long, turn on notifications, and share this with every member of Skol Nation. Let's grow this family huge. Skol Vikings forever. See you in the next one. Peace. We didn't just limp to the finish line. We sprinted through it with authority, reminding the entire league not to sleep on the Minnesota Vikings. That defense in the finale? Vintage Flores chaos. Offense did enough even after JJ went down. This is the identity we're building, and 2026 is going to be scary. One more stat to blow your mind. Only 4 teams this year closed with 5 or more straight wins, and 3 of the other ones are playoff teams with monster records. We're the outlier that finished 9-8 and still pulled it off. That says everything about the fight in this locker room under KOC. I love y'all. Thank you for riding with me all season through the highs and the lows. The Minnesota Vikings are building something real, and next year we're coming for it all. Skol.